Hi guys, this is just a video, like a story time behind my most private video on my channel, of me having that big ass boil on the back of my neck. And this was on this side, but I guess the camera will kind of flip it, but it's like on my right side. Now, just a little story before I get into the main story. I have a neck injury, so any kind of weight on my head will kind of make it hard for me to kind of lift my head up, okay? And also, I was in a very toxic relationship. When he broke up with me, I was like, freedom. So I wanted to really celebrate, the fact that I haven't got my hair done when I was with him. And I wanted to kind of like be like, oh, this is what you're missing, in a way, but not really, because I'm not trying to go back to him. And this was also during a time to where I was actually talking to my current boyfriend. So it's a lot of moving parts, but it will make sense once I tell you guys what's happening. So I asked my ex to drop me off for my hair appointment, and he said okay. So the day before, I think I asked like one of my sisters, somebody like that, to get me hair. I think either I picked it out or I picked it out. So I wanted braids because it was during summer. This was the packet. This is the braids I got. I had like 4 in my head. Do not get this brand. It is not worth it. I wanted because I wanted blonde. Because if you guys follow me on Instagram or see any of my videos with my blonde wig on, I look really cute. And my ex at the time, well, he's still my ex really agreed that I look cute as a blonde. So I kind of really just wanted to look cute because I was really just wanting to date again, meet new people, but my ex was kind of jealous that I was moving on way before he was, okay? So, got my hair done. This girl has been doing my hair for like probably a year or 2 years on and off. And she's like my main person to get my hair done from. If she's not available, I will go somewhere else, but she's always my first pick. And she's the one that did my sewing right now, which is covered because it's a lace front. I'm not trying to mess up the lace front. So when my hair was done getting braided, which was not that long, my hair was itching, which I was like, okay, well, my scalp is always kind of dry, whatever, but it was really not normal itching. It was really intense. And I was like, trying to ignore it, trying to look cute, stuff like that, And then when I started dating in the talking stages of me and my boyfriend, I want to look cute for him as well. So I wasn't trying to take these braids out. It was mostly like me trying to be cheap than anything. Okay. So, when I actually like was getting itchy on the back of my neck, people were saying, oh, maybe she braids too tight. This girl never braids too tight on my head. Like, she knows about my injury. She knows what to touch, what not to touch. She knows to kind of like not to yank my head. Because I had other people who did my hair before I found her. And people were literally yanking my head with my injury. Even when I tell them I have a neck injury, don't yank my freaking head. Because once you yank it, once good time, that's it. I will be permanently paralyzed. So a lot of people don't even want to do my head because of that fact. Okay. And she didn't braid too tight. She adjusted my hair really good, and she really knows what I like. So on that part, it was nothing that she did wrong. It was just the hair was just not agreeing with me. Plus, I was natural for like a long time. I was wearing wigs and stuff like that. So I never had like my hair actually done because I either didn't have the time or the money to get my hair done. And I always go synthetic because synthetic hair is cheaper. I never had a problem with synthetic. I know there were horror stories of that, and I happened to pick the right damn hair just to get my hair on my head. I really wanted sewing, but it was hot. But I was like, braids will be the way to go because like here in Alabama, it's hot. Ain't trying to deal with that, So braids. So my back of my neck was just itching. It was irritated. And then every time anything's itchy, irritated, because I have eczema as well, I thought it was like, maybe is it my eczema? So I felt like bumps, like little small bumps. And I was like, huh? And then that's when I started taking pictures. I started taking pictures on this side, but this small one wasn't that bad because I popped it on its own. Because I put a lot of heat on it, and and then it actually healed on its own, but it still has some fluid in there. This one got so out of control. It felt like it was a huge knot on the back of my head, but it was a bunch of fluid, and I was so pressed I didn't want to pop it. Okay, that's when I started taking pictures of my boyfriend, my boyfriend now, and I was like, hey, what do you think this is? Because he's really smart and intelligent, and he said pretty much it's like a big pimple or boil, and he was telling me to kind of stab it with a sharp pointer thing. And I was like, should I not? Because I didn't want to go to a specialist and pay extra money for it, or even go see a doctor, because I just don't like going to see a doctor because of what I experienced before in the medical field. But one night I could not, it was getting to the point to where I couldn't sleep. And I was like, oh no, if you mess with my sleep, that's it. We're not going to deal with that. So it felt like I could not bend my neck. I had a hard time. And then my parents were noticing this too as well. They were like, you should pop that. So I listened to everybody. I grabbed like, like those nails, the fake nails that come with that wood stick to kind of lift your nail up. I was doing this in the dark. I said, screw it. So I didn't really want to pop it right into my neck, but I went kind of like pop. And then I felt like a burst of like warm liquid all over my freaking neck and all down here. And I was like, ugh. So I got up, rushed, took pictures, and I was like, oh my goodness. I was doing this at 12 midnight, and I was like freaking out, okay? So I grabbed like the nearest towel I could find, and I was putting it to really kind of collect it, and it was just oozing. And this thing was oozing like the River of Egypt or something like that. It was just gushing. And I'm like, ew. So, and it smelled really bad. And this was during the time of monkeypox. So everybody kept saying, oh, it's monkeypox, like joking, but I took really offense of it because people kept saying I had COVID. People kept saying I have this, that, to the third. But anytime anybody has said anything about me having it, I always test negative. I never test positive for anything besides like having a cold. So, or even a cancer thing. I didn't know I had cancer, so I think that's for the cancer thing. God was like, hey, you were dealing with cancer thing. We should give you a break for a little bit, okay? I was like, appreciate that. So, like, I had no choice but to make an appointment for a dermatologist, but I also made an appointment for my nerve doctor. But I didn't want to leave the house because anytime I move, it would just ooze, and it would just run down my neck, and it would be crusty and disgusting, and it'll stop on its own. But anytime like any kind of little movement with my neck, it would just like ooze, and it felt like I was playing with like one of those like water balloon things, but like no matter how you press on it, you can't put any pressure on it while being super sensitive around the area, and it was really, really sensitive. But I got tired of it really, and I was pressing on it because I was just like fed up of everything going on, I went to the dermatologist, and they tested me for monkeypox. It came back negative. They said, well, it's not monkeypox. You just have a very bad reaction to something. And then I told her what it was. She said, oh yeah, that makes sense. So she was pressing on to get a lot of it out. It was kind of hard to get out, and it really hurted. She gave me some pills and stuff. I'm not sure if she gave me an injection or something like that. She probably did. So she gave me like really strong antibiotics and creams and stuff. I could not afford anything but the antibiotics. And then I made another appointment because it was still for a checkup. And it was not as bad, but it was still kind of a lot of fluid in there. And then this one was acting up as well. So she gave me some more antibiotics. Pretty much I had 2 rounds of antibiotics, and I was good. And then they both are healed right now. I still know where they are, like where it was at, because I know I can feel it. It's like where the I don't feel any fluid, but I kind of like feel like, or I just know where it's at because I've been touching them. So there's one's like right here and one's like right here. I never had that bad of a reaction before to anything, so I'm not sure what that was. But I know I had pimples before that kind of got that big, but I always get them like right here, like when I was like younger. And I did get one when I was a little older, and I was like, not today, you know? So my skin's really weird, and that was not a fun experience, but at least that made me and my boyfriend really closer, because now we can talk about like gross things without grossing each other out, because we both kind of had the same kind of like pimple thing, but in different areas. But I'm not going to share his story because his story is a bit more embarrassing than mine. But I think that made me very more comfortable around like blood and fluid stuff like that, because like I'm not really squeamish. So when I posted it on here, I was not expecting for people to kind of like get grossed out, I guess, if that makes sense. But I didn't think it would take off that far for people to be like, what is that? But that's the whole story of it, really. I got my hair done now. It's 100% human hair sew-in. I have not had a reaction to it. Just the normal itching and everything like that, like on top of my head, which is normal because my hair is like has not been brushed or washed for like a couple weeks. But I had not had no itching because I was so scared to get my hair done again. Super duper scared. But I really wanted to be done because I wanted to look cute for the boyfriend, also for myself as well. So yeah, thanks guys for watching, and I'll see you later.